Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Fighting's Final on It's a Wrap Sports Network, and it's going to be a good one. Weird night for me, Wednesday. I normally do it on a Tuesday. Had to do a little switcheroo, and Phillies get the win over the Mets, 11-3. Fun little scare at the end, right? Wouldn't be a Phillies game without one from the bullpen. Um, Not much to complain about in this one, right? Maybe a little bit of a struggle in the fourth inning for Sanchez, but for the most part, I mean, this is as even the bottom of the lineup got into it later on, right? Um, in the game, you saw Otto Kemp, Stott, Walton had an RBI at the end there. Not, it was this is what you want to see, right? This is obviously you're not going to get it every night, but on a night where Sanchez has a really good game, what did he go? He went 6 innings. Pull him up here. Cellular. Yes, Sanchez 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 Ks, only 93 pitches. He looked good. He looked really good. He looked in command of everything. He looked comfortable out there. He had a few good defensive stops. Yeah, that one where he reached out, used his length to his advantage, and was able to get the toss out at first, and then he had the one where um, played it off the big hop and was able to beam it over to Bryce at first. It looked good. Looked good. Allergies are killing me. Sorry, folks. Um, Mets pitchers hit the Phillies 4 times tonight. I think I heard that was like some record that it's been in a while. Um, Thought that was kind of funny. But now in this series, the Phillies are 21-6 runs scored. They've outscored the Mets so far in the series, go up 10 games in the division. I think I heard there at the tail end of the game that this is the first time since like 2011 that at this point in the season, um, they've been up by this many games. I believe that the Brewers lost earlier, so we'll get into that when we go around the bases. But no, this up and down the lineup, you got what from Kepler? Kepler had, Kepler had a good game, right? Everyone wanted him gone. Everyone wanted him gone. Me too. Hand up. I'll admit it. But he had a hell of a game. He had a hell of a game. What did he do? Let's go. He was a hit by pitch in the first. In the first, what they loaded up the bases. The bases were loaded for holy hell for a while, right? I was kind of upset. I guess if you want to talk about something that went bad, maybe you can nitpick from a game like this. That first inning to only get 2 runs when you had bases loaded multiple times, 2 different times in the inning. That was kind of a little letdown to start when they went up 2-0. But no, Kepler, he had the single in the fifth, single in the sixth, and then he had the home run in the eighth. 5 RBIs on the night. He's been great. He's been great. Really kind of not great, I guess, but he's been serviceable. I would say since Bader's gotten here, right? Since they started really doing this platoon in the outfield altogether, since Castellanos has been benched regularly. Um, he's he's played well down there towards the bottom of the lineup. But I would say the person who has been since the trade deadline, he came and he was defensively, he was didn't skip a beat. Um, Coming over from Minnesota, Bader. But this trade it's it was the 2 trades. It was Bader and Duran. and they have both hit. Um, he has, defensively, he showed what he was able to do when he first got here, and that now he's been locked in with the bat. He's been hitting like crazy. He's what was it? I forget how many 8 hits, maybe 9 hits now. Just in this series versus the Mets. He's batting some crazy number versus the Mets this year, overall. But I feel like he's really locked down and solidified that center field position for the Phillies. That was such a uh, frustration for so long. So, um, yeah, boring night, boring night for show purposes. But what do you guys think? Joe, what's going on? Hey, how are you doing tonight, bro? I'm doing good, doing good. Allergies are kicking my ass with all this little weather change, going cool and then rain a little bit. But we're hanging in, hanging in. How are you doing, man? Phillies look good. Love Bader leading off. Yeah. And, that's another thing that his ability. You tried Stott earlier on in the season. So you knew going back to him after Turner's injury that it wasn't going to work putting him there. Put Bryce there for a game. Um, Bryce had a home run tonight. He was really the only person for a little while who, at the top of the lineup, hadn't really contributed anything. He got hit by a pitch. He was one of those guys that got hit by a pitch. But these last 2 games with Bader leading off, he's continued um, to hit well. Really, anywhere he's been in the lineup. I'm not going to hold against him when he first got here that he wasn't hitting well. He was getting acclimated. Excuse me. Now that he's acclimated, he's comfortable. He's got the vibe. I feel like he is the vibe guy, for them now. And he's doing well there. I like him. What do we got here? Joe Hale, Kepler, and Marsh and Harper came up big. They all did. Marsh, another good call. Good call, Joe. Marsh, he was another one who just really was solid tonight. Let's just go over the box score for these guys. Bader, 2 for 5, 2 runs. To both of his hits too that he had in the first and second inning, almost identical, sort of spots. Schwarber, 1 for 2, 1 run. Didn't wasn't able to get number 51. Love that he is in that conversation now with Ryan Howard when it comes to the home run kings in Philadelphia. So Bryce Harper, he went 1 for 4, had the home run. What inning was that? Was that the 7th? Yeah, the 7th. He had that home run, towering shot, towering shot. It was good to see. It was kind of fun to watch Soto, kind of just like, damn. It looked like he was going to be able to play it, but nope. Real Muto, JT, he went 2 for 4, 2 runs, 1 RBI. Marsh, 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Joe mentioned him. Marsh, Kepler, Harper came up big. Yep, all throughout, up and down the lineup. All up and down the lineup. Otto Kemp, he had those 3 strikeouts, and then he redeemed himself there in the 8th with that single. Stott had a single, and then Walton had that RBI late. And Kepler and Marsh, we just talked about, had stellar nights. They really did. Joe, magic number is now 7. Thank you. I was gonna ask what that if someone could look that up for me, but that is now 7 to win the NL East. So some big series coming up for the Phillies after this one. Tomorrow, kind of a big day, the 9/11 game. It's a wrap sports. What's going on? Great show, bro. Thank you. Thank you. What do we got? Hey, Steve. Ricky's watching. Ricky, what's going on, Ricky? Always love when you watch. Tune in tomorrow. Attacking third. Talking some Union. And speaking of all the other shows that we got over here, it's a wrap. Just mentioned the Attacking Third, Pat and myself, every Thursday talking Union. You want to talk another team that is first right now? The Philadelphia Union sitting first place in all of MLS in the East with 5 games remaining in the regular season. Prop locks and parlays with Mike Lauro. No pressure sports betting for entertainment purposes only. Wednesday at 7 p.m. He was on earlier. Great show with him and his guest Paul Spencer. Thursdays, right before the Attacking Third, Bird Blast with Kyle Quinn, talking all things Eagles, kind of discuss what went on the Cowboys game last Thursday, and move on and discuss what's going on with this Sunday for the Super Bowl rematch with Kansas City Chiefs. And you'll be able to watch the post-game show, Birds Fly By, with myself, and you never know who may pop up on an Eagles post-game show. So make sure you guys are tuning into that right after the Eagles game versus Kansas City. Hopefully, we're talking about a win. That one, they're at 4:25, so it'll probably be around 7:30 ish. Hopefully, we're talking about that. And then Sunday before the game, PM in the AM, Pat, Mike, and Al, where your Sundays will never be the same. You'll be talking about all the week that was and bringing you into a NFL Sunday, the wraparound. I believe Mike this week will be filling in for Pat, closing out your week, Philadelphia sports. And then this Saturday, who does Villanova? Penn State has Villanova. So Mike will be hosting Happy Valley Huddle, Penn State football postgame show. Make sure all you Penn State fans are tuning into that one. Some big games coming up. Once Mike gets done with these warm-up games that Penn State has, and they start getting into the meat of the Big Ten, those shows will be good, I'm sure. All shows are good. And then, of course, the headline show for the network, The Final Word with Matty B, Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. He'll be on. Pretty sure he'll be on right after me. Coming up not too long after 10. This one won't be too long. Don't got much to discuss. Phillies did what they need to do. Will Pat be back tomorrow? Possibly. I know he was back on Sunday for PM in the AM. I know he has had a little bit more technical difficulties, but we'll see. I'm hoping he's back on. But I'll be on. I'll be there, Joe. So make sure you're tuning in. We'll be talking Union. The Mets couldn't really get anything going against Sanchez. Lindor 0 for 3. Soto 3 for 5. He had the that big home run in the 8th, and it looked like he was going to have a grand slam in the let me get this out of here, in the in the 9th, but he didn't, thank goodness. Phillies bullpen, right? No, they did a good job tonight. Vientos 0 for 3. Alonso 1 for 4. Marte 2 for 4. He kind of got things going for the Mets there in the 4th inning. What did they do in the 4th? Soto had that ground rule double with the fan interference. I remember that. And then Alonso had a single, and then Marte had the RBI single that brought in Soto to make it 2-1. And then we were stuck 2-1 for a while. And that's when I was really, really irritated. Then when you think back to the 1st inning, when they had bases loaded for, two separate times, that they weren't able to add on any additional runs. So Joe saying 86 wins for the Phillies. Yep. Joe, what is your prediction? What is there? 15 games or so, 16 games or so left. What is your prediction for Phillies' final win count entering into the playoffs? And are they able to catch the Brewers? So RBI, like I said, RBI single for Marte in the 4th. Luckily, they Nimmo grounded into the double play Um, and then yeah, it was until really that sixth inning, that sixth and seventh inning, when they were able to really bust this game open 8-1, and then ended up obviously ultimately winning 11-3. So good game. This is what you want to see. This is what you expect from them, especially at this time of the year. Good for them to be able to bounce back in a series, obviously. And the Demons thing, I'm with Matty B on this. You know, people are saying Phillies get 106 wins. Oh, okay, there you go, Joe. I like it. I like that positivity. Um, I'm with Matty B on this. I heard him the other night talking about how, I'm not going to shed away from the Mets in the playoffs and having to go to Citi Field. That's what you want to do. That's the playoffs. It's not some exhibition preseason game where you want the easy ones in the beginning. Like I was just talking about Penn State and those games. You don't want that in the playoffs. You don't want to shy away from a good competition. I mean, you don't want anyone talking about putting an asterisk or whatever on your World Series run because oh yeah, you only had to play this and you only had to play this team and these players were injured. No, you want to say yeah, I went up against a division opponent. I swept them. Whatever. That's what you want. And that's what I want. I don't want to avoid them because of these so-called demons that uh live at City Field for the Phillies when they go there and play the Mets. So I think this is great for them to be able to see that yeah, you can beat the Mets. It's not a thing. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Phillies are 2 games behind the Brewers now. There we go. There we go, Ricky. Let's go Phillies playoffs. Yeah, soon. Soon. October will be here, guys, before you know it. So let's get into the Broad Street bottom line. All right, tonight's Broad Street bottom line for me. I talked about him earlier. Bader. I think he sets the tone for the game, leading off for the Phillies. I think he has these last 2 games. I think until Trey is back, he's the guy. He's the guy who is going to be leading off, and he's hitting like crazy right now. Like I said, he's what 8 or 9 hits in just this series versus the Mets. I think I saw he's batting like 607 against the Mets this year. In the series before this versus the Marlins, he played well defensively. He can set the tone there if he's not hitting well. But I just think that the energy that he's brought, uh, a great trade. A lot of us were skeptical at first when he first got here, but I think that he has really proven um, that he has a place on this team. Hopefully, moving forward, because I'll be honest, I like him. I like him there in center field. I think you can put Crawford somewhere else. I think Castellanos is see ya. I think he's out of here. I think that outfield is going to be younger, better. Kepler has stepped up. So I think Kepler has stepped up since the trade for Bader. So it's been a trickle down effect for those guys in the outfield. So that's my Broad Street bottom line for tonight. So now let's go around the bases and check out some of these scores around the league. All right, let's go to some of these scores at our final Just talked about the Phillies and Mets. Phillies beat the Mets 11-3. The Rangers did us a favor, beating the Brewers 6-3. Athletics get the 5-4. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. 5-4 win over the Red Sox. Diamondbacks beat the Giants 5-3. Angels get the win over the Twins 4-3. Orioles beat the Pirates in 10, 2-1. The Royals get the 4-3 victory over the Guardians. Marlins 8-3 over the Nationals. Astros just edge out the Blue Jays. Blue Jays first over there. 3-2. Cubs 3-2 over the Braves. In the games that are going on right now. Excuse me. Tigers putting a beat down. Detroit putting a beat down on the Yankees. Saying Detroit style pizza is better than New York. 11-1 in the ninth. That one's getting ready to wrap up. The Rays are down 5-6 to the White Sox. They're in the eighth, getting ready to head into the ninth. Padres 1-0 over the Reds in the bottom of the sixth with one out. And the Cardinals 1-0 over the Mariners. They're in the top of the second. And the game that hasn't gotten going, hasn't started yet, will literally right now should be first pitch. Dodgers Rockies. For you late night baseball folks who want to watch some baseball while you're also getting ready to watch the final word with Matty B. Joe, last comment of the night. Phillies play late tomorrow, 7:15. I know that sucks, and that's the one I didn't do. So let's get into the one who's wrapping us up for the week. It'll be Matty B on a Thursday. We're wrapping up the series. First the Mets, and then next week, or for the weekend, I don't know. We'll see who's on the call. And then this is your lineup, folks, for the week. If you missed the promo for all the other shows, all the other ads for the other shows on the network, here is the lineup for the week. It's a beautiful, beautiful graphic. It's a beautiful thing. Look at all those shows. Look at all those shows. Sundays filled. Steel City. I didn't get into that. I didn't get into them. Steel City, Sunday, Pittsburgh Steelers fans. If you guys were raised wrong in Pennsylvania and you were raised to be a Steelers fan, we got that here for you over at It's a Sports Network. It's a Rap Sports Network. Pre-game, I believe they start at 10. They do a long pre-game show. They got some great guests who come on. This will be their second week. I think they got the Seahawks this week, and then they do a post-game show as well. So make sure you tune into those guys. They did a great job last Sunday in that thriller. So yes, I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure you guys are sticking around for Matty B. He'll be coming up right after, not too long. Ring the bell. Keep it going, Phillies.